think it's not the best thing. Not the best thing that's been going on. I mean, I guess it all depends on what you got going on. If it's a good thing or not. I mean, people migrating to your country is always tricky. I live in America. We've always had a love-hate thing for migration. For whatever reason. But, yeah. There's not much to say about it. I mean, in America, it's different. It's expected. You know, we're a country of immigrants. That's how it is. In the UK, I don't know. Is that how it is? I mean, do you guys want, you know, immigrants there all the time? Give me 1 second. You know, there's a lot of people that feel a certain way about that kind of thing. I guess I don't really care if it's not hurting anything, but that's just it. Is it hurting stuff, you know? That's what matters. You know, obviously, this line isn't working for me, because you see it's like kind of cutting into this direction when it should be going the other direction, so we're gonna fix that. Luckily, we're early enough that we can fix it. So let's go up a tiny bit, bring that over. About right there. Yeah, you know, the one thing, it's like when I talk to, you know, more liberal based people, they say that migration's good. They always bring up the food. Always bring up the food. Like that's all there is to a culture, is the food. And yes, food's great, but you know, there's more to culture than food. It has to be. You know, culture is, I mean, ideally everybody would get along and everybody would just get along, right? But that's not how the world works. The world just isn't like that. The world's it's a place where people want to be on top and people want to be on the bottom, you know, weirdly enough, and certain people believe they have a place to be on top. Yeah. So any UK subscribers out there, let me know what's going on in your country from your point of view. Do you like the recent immigration to your country? Is it something, do you like the food? Do you like, I mean, what do they bring? What do they take? You know, and then if you're somebody who's, you know, maybe I have a subscriber who's, or a watcher who's an immigrant in that country, what do you think? What do you get out of it? What do you like about it or dislike about it? Be an interesting thing to hear. You know, it's nice to know where everybody's coming from. But, especially in a country where it's not totally normal. I know the UK has had bouts of immigration in the past, you know, for certain things. So it's all, you know, where do you stand on it, I guess. There's always some people that don't like it. There's always people that do like it. You know, switching it up a little bit. Looks like Stranger Things Season 5 is coming out. I stopped watching that show a couple years ago. I got sick of Netflix, honestly. I just got sick and tired of Netflix. It was just the same shit all the time. They never had anything good on. And, you know, you watch Stranger Things, you can watch a whole season of it in a day if you want to. So it's like, you know, it doesn't make up for all the other shit that's on there. Just an endless stream of crap, and then, you know, Stranger Things. And it's like, alright, cool. what happens when you're all done watching Stranger Things, you know, or any of the other good stuff. At least when Netflix started, it was, you know, nobody else had a streaming service yet, so they had so much more wiggle room, you know. I remember when it first came out, I was like, oh, I can watch all the old Star Trek on here and stuff, you know. How cool. So that's what I did. And after a certain point, it was just, I was all done with that, you know. It's just like, well, I'm done watching all the Star Trek. Now what do I do? And they had other shows, and I'd watch those, and you know, it's, yeah. But other streaming services figured it out, and you know, now there's, everybody's got a freaking streaming service, it seems like. And it's like, I don't blame them. You know, they saw me watching Star Trek over there, and they're like, well, why don't we just make a thing, and then he can watch Star Trek over here? And that's exactly what they did, and now there's 100 freaking services. Which is whatever, I get it, but that's why people had streaming services, you know? It was like, screw cable, I got streaming services, but now they're trying to make it like it's cable again, where you gotta pay hundreds of dollars a month to have the stuff you want, but you don't really have to do that. All you gotta do is pick a few things. You don't have to have everything. The big thing that pisses me off is, and I don't know why it pisses me off because I'm not even a sports person, but they have everything, all the games now that used to be like on a free, you know, ABC or NBC or whatever, are all on a paywall now. So like when I'd work at the bar, you know, I quit the bar a couple years ago now. Before that, you know, I worked at a bar, I'd work on Sundays, and it would be football day, and, you know, we'd have to either get an account or find somebody with an account to get the freaking game. It was ridiculous. And it was like, that was just a very recent change, you know? I don't know why anybody watches that shit anymore. Football's rigged, bro. I don't care what anybody says. And maybe it takes a person that doesn't watch it to see that. Like, this is rigged. Like, as soon as Taylor Swift and Kelsey got together, I told my buddy, I said, anytime they're in the if she's in the stadium, they're gonna win. For Super Bowl, for just regular game, I don't care what it is. If she's in that stadium, they are going to win. And I'm pretty sure I have been proven right so far. And it's going to be a huge thing when they break up, or when they have a kid, or whatever. You know, that's what's going to happen. It's on top of all the other shit, you know. It's just, it seems rigged. I mean, when I can sit at home, and like I said, I'm not a football person. I've watched enough of it that I you know, I was a bartender, so I had to be able to follow along with it. But just in some recent games, I've seen calls that were like, did that just happen? Because did that just happen? Because that seems like a lame call. Nope. You know, and it's like, well, how does that work? If everybody can see that it's a shitty call, and everybody at home can see, and, you know, the people announcing the game are like, that was kind of an interesting call, then how the hell do these refs get away with that? I don't know. Seems kind of sketch, if you ask me. But, you know, with all that money on the line, I don't know why anybody would think it isn't rigged. You know, with all the money on the line from the gambling and all that, it's just like, they're not going to leave that up to chance. Are you kidding me? Leave something like that up to chance? No way. No way. And they don't. And that's why it's rigged, in my opinion. In my grossly you know, I don't know anything about football, but I know that. I know it's rigged now. And it seems like it's not as brutal as it used to be. You know, football, it seemed like a lot of stuff that used to fly doesn't fly anymore. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a football fan, so maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Most likely. But like I said, sure looks kind of rigged sometimes. And with all the pomp and circumstance of Taylor Swift and Kelsey, I just yeah, I don't know. Seems kind of silly. Seems kind of silly, but that's okay. That's what they want, you know. The Taylor Swift thing brought in a lot of new eyeballs onto football, you know. The 16-year-old girls, you know, every advertiser's dream. A 16-year-old girl to buy all sorts of stupid shit they don't need. And now they can buy a bunch of jerseys. And it's like, they must have a Chiefs jersey that says Swift on it. They have to by now. Somebody's messing up that opportunity. Somebody get on that. There's a jersey out there that needs to be made that says Taylor Swift on it. Kelsey/Swift, something like that. Has to be. It just has to be. It's too good to pass up. Yep. And then they're gonna break up too after a while, and that'll happen on the field too. Well, first, if it hasn't happened already, I predict him winning a Super Bowl game. Right? He's gonna win a Super Bowl game, or the team will, or whatever. You know, they'll win a Super Bowl game, and he'll propose to her on the field. You can see it on the jumbotron now. All the 16-year-old girls screaming after they win the rigged Super Bowl. And yeah, I can see it now. It's plain as day. I gotta clean up all that. That's the crappy thing about certain markers, is they leave that like overlap, and I hate that look. Like that right there, and that right there. Drives me nuts. So you need more professional style pin to take care of some of that. That's okay. I got this guy right here yesterday. It's a paint pen, kind of goofy, but should do the trick. Let's see. Oh, now it's darker. Great. But yeah, somebody get on that. That's a huge opportunity. We got to get that Taylor Swift jersey on. Has to happen. Has to happen. Does anybody else feel like that? Many of you football fans out there, you guys feel like that? Or ladies? You feel like, yeah, these games are rigged. Why the hell am I even watching this anymore? Because like I said, I've heard it from plenty of people pissing and moaning. If it's funny how it works though. Like if it's your team that's being whined about, like if you're a Chiefs fan, people are like, oh, whatever, man, you're just a poor sport, don't know how to lose, right? You know, but then when the Chiefs don't win, they'll be like, oh, what the hell, Patrick Mahomes had that, and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It's kind of funny. The whole football thing is funny to me. Like, I don't know. I just never got it. I never got the love of it. But I was raised in a single female household. Maybe that has something to do with it. Not to blame my mom or anything, but you know, she never watched football, so might have something to do with it. At least probability wise. Alright, so we got that part done. But yeah, I could never get into it. I was gonna play when I was in high school, and the only reason is because I was told that you'd get away with a lot of shit. You know, you get away with a lot more, and I was always getting in trouble. And I was a bigger kid, you know. I was a little huskier kid at the time. And my kid wants to play football, or he's talking about it at least. So we'll see. If he's getting into trouble and stuff a lot in school, I'm gonna be like, yeah, you should go play football because, stay out of trouble. How horrible is that? But I also want him to do something constructive, with all the energy he's got. He's got a lot of energy. He needs to do something with that. That's good. And it's like I never had that. My mom, bless her soul, just wasn't great at raising us when she got to a certain age. I feel like she got to a certain age and was like, well, my kids are taking care of themselves. I'm going to go and do what I want to do. And that's kind of what she did. And she'd probably never admit that, but I don't really need her to admit it. I know it. And she does too, deep down. I don't hold it against her. I mean, I guess sometimes I do. I should take that back. Sometimes I do when certain things, pop up in my life. When I'm like, oh, it would have been nice to have more guidance, from something or somebody at that point in time in my life. But what are you supposed to do at this point? Can't cry over it now. It's over with, But I guess that's the only time in my life I really am like, well, she could have done better. But we all can do better, right? Like I'm not perfect. There's shit I could do better with my son. And things I hopefully will do. I need to, whatever I do, not to raise him like my mom raised me. And I can already say that I'm doing better in that department, when it comes to raising the kid. But it's hard raising a kid. It's a whole nother human being. There's all sorts of stuff that pops up that you're like, where the hell did that come from? The kid, I never thought my kid would like football because I have never exposed him to it, but his grandparents did, and little stuff like that you never think is gonna, like how